Each session starts off with a recap in which we sit together with the children and ask them what we did in the last session. And this is very important in the sense that you can tell what the children have remembered, what they have taken home, and what needs to be worked on more.
One of the first things we did with the children was self-presentation. And as we know, this is an essential part of life, as people are often judged on their first impressions. It's great for when you're socializing, and even more importantly, when you're trying to apply for a job. What we had them do here was to introduce themselves and to tell us more about themselves. They told us about their likes, their dislikes, and gave us a rounded opinion of what they thought of themselves.
Now, these self-presentations were very important not only because they showed the children how they would be perceived by others while acting in front of the camera, but also for them to start feeling more at ease in front of the camera. And so, since the self-presentation was only criticized by themselves, a person saying what they liked or did not like about their presentation, it was important for them to realize when you're criticizing yourself, you always have to look at something positive but also something negative. And several of our children actually had difficulties finding positive things to say about their own presentation. So it took some getting used to the fact of being in front of the camera and acknowledging what was good, but also acknowledging what was less good. So this first part was about self-presentation and about self-criticism.
Like is gossip, cause other people goes and have gossip about yourself. In 10 years time, I'd like to be an accountant.
The kids from Theatre Child Care Center doing the Volens video counselling for constructive criticism.
The following session, we had the kids create alter egos with the help of props. This helped them to explore their imagination and to further enhance their self-presentation skills.
And I'm a granny for 15 children, and I work at I don't remember. And where do I work? Oh, I work at the Friendly Shops, and what is my pension? $15, and I always enjoy eating salsa and bread mixed with milk. And I like to go to America because there are a lot of white people and I'm black. But I have white hair. That's why they call me Pom Pom. Thank you.
Next, we had these fictive characters also make a phone call to a third person, an imaginary third person, and express something of a grievance, a complaint, a criticism. Now, inside this criticism, they also had to incorporate a sentence that we had given.
Don't you dare sis me!
Some of these sentences
were
my respectful and others were not.
I'm so angry with you.
And very
Do
insulting.
you ever think?
Now, at the end of the session, we asked all of the children to look at these sentences together and categorize them. Categorize them as either being respectful or disrespectful.
I want my wig back, and that's it. Period. Shit. Goodbye.
When the children classified the sentences in either respectful or constructive sentences, or disrespectful or destructive sentences, they could deduce from there the rule of I, not you. Now, all of the disrespectful sentences were formulated in the you form. You are mean to me. You lied to me. While the respectful sentences refer to I. I feel I can't trust you anymore. What you said made me feel hurt and I had to cry. So this taught them the entire rule of I, not you.
Okay, the areas that struck me a lot while we were using this tool are those that had to do with them learning to remove the you aspect of when you give criticism, and then putting bringing themselves into the situation and using I instead of you, thereby reducing the conflicts that would come out from that confrontational stance of giving criticism.
So during the recap during the next session, we started off by again categorizing the same sentences and see if the kids had difficulties doing it this time. So they put most of the you sentences as destructive or disrespectful, and most of the I sentences. Tell it like it is. This brought forward again. Say it, say it, say it. Tell it like it is. What breaks your heart? What keeps you awake at night?
Hi, sis.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine.
You know what? I'm angry with you. You know what you did to my wig? I wish I was boxing. I would have boxed your face into a punching bag. You know, my grandchildren are afraid of me because of what you did to my wig. How dare you color my wig blue?
What are you doing to your wig?
Can't you see?
Thereafter, we had the children express their grievance from the previous session, this time alongside a partner, and they would enact it and try to do it in the same way that they had done before, which is normally in a disrespectful manner. They were put into groups of 3, and the third party was thereafter allowed to take the place of the criticizer and try to express that criticism in a more constructive manner.
So I don't need to say so. What you do? Alright.
Part of what makes video such a good tool to work on constructive criticism is because during the playback, when children look at what was filmed during the last session, they can see how they're being perceived. It's a platform where they can express criticism either about themselves or about others. So that definitely makes it a very suitable instrument to work on this topic.
We later ventured into storytelling with the aid of pictures. Children were allowed to select a picture of their choice and try to create a story based from what was on that picture. After that, they were put into groups of 3 where they had to incorporate their stories together and come up with a single story that was coherent.
The old granny who lived alone, she really liked dolls because his grandchild was at a boarding school. She was so sweet, happy, and she really liked young children. And that's it.
Making a story. So we started with somewhere together, the place. For the storytelling development, we used a system called the 4 S's. The first S, someone, your protagonist. The second S, somewhere, your setting. The third S, something, a problem. And the fourth S, solution. The children were put into an exercise whereby they all were given a common setting, a school, and a common something, bullying, a problem that they've all experienced. From there, they had to create their own someones, their characters, and more importantly, their own solutions, which is what was the basis of the counseling session after.
What was interesting was that although they started from the same basic elements, the solutions were each time completely different, all valid but still different. So this brought us to the rule of how about this, not emphasizing on what you want to criticize or do not like about something, but instead suggesting alternatives.